This is the Reality Checkmate podcast.
We're two reality nerds
that break down
stratagem
and psyche. Welcome, everyone. We are dissecting Traitors US Season 4, Episode 1. So excited that Traitors is back and looks like it's going to be bigger and better.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting and exciting and crazy season already. Yeah.
I thought, well, first off, I thought it was so cool that they arrived at night. That was different. Mm-hmm. And with the fireworks and stuff, it just added to the drama and theatrics and the production of it all. And I think that was so cool. But there was actually a lot that went on inside the cars that I picked up on.
Yes.
Like upon arrival, even. I saw some of the players already starting to play the game even before it started.
Yeah, so I did as well, especially Jam Jam and Candace were in that first car. And Jam Jam was talking about how he thought that it would be easier as a faithful to play the game, the long game, to be in there a long time. And so, but then we learn later that he really wants to be a traitor.
Do you think that was him planting seeds to the other players in the car saying, hey, I don't want to be a traitor. I want to be a faithful, and kind of get his eyes off of him?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if I was in that situation, I would definitely, no matter what, before I know if I'm a traitor, I want everybody to think I'm a faithful no matter what, and I'll always be a faithful, and that's what I want.
No matter what.
I mean, you don't tell anybody, hey, I want to be a traitor coming into this. That wouldn't go down well, because then they're like, well, you seem suspicious.
I'm a traitor.
Right? Yeah, you don't tell people that. I don't think. I don't know if anybody's ever done it, but...
Well, if they were smart, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think it would go well. And Candace did something similar. She said, I'm just too real to be a traitor.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I took that as she speaks her mind, speaks what's on her mind. Mm-hmm. And when you're a traitor or faithful, that's not always super smart, because if you're real all the time, you want to keep your cards close to your chest and not bring attention to yourself. So I don't see people who... they want to play an honest game. They want to play a real game. They don't want to change who they are. That's not really a good strategy, in my personal opinion.
Do you think it is true that Candace is too real to be a traitor?
I have no idea. Well, actually, seeing this first episode, no.
She's definitely real, but in different ways.
I mean, we'll get into it, but is it real if you're lying?
Right. She's definitely authentically herself.
There you go.
I think that we can
more
definitely
real.
Say she's real that way for sure. All right. What about Donna? We get to see her in the car as well. What are your thoughts about what she did, or do you want me to?
Oh, I was excited for her, and we got to see more of just a little bit of that. She's ready to play. She wants to play the game. And she doesn't want to sit and twiddle her thumbs.
Yeah. We kind of pointed it out in our preview, how she might come across as, or be thought of as, the sweet old grandma kind of thing.
Right.
And she acknowledged that actually as well, so that she sees that people might think of her as that way, but that they're not going to see what's coming for them, as she said. And so I think there is some interesting insight there about who she may be and how she might be playing this game.
And I hope she's picked for a traitor, and I hope she pulls it off and we get to see that from her.
Yeah. That would be really interesting if she's not already part of that group, which we'll get to later. And then Rob C., who says that he says, I want to flip this cat and mouse game on its head. What do you think he's talking about? What is he going to do?
He's there to play. He's there to figure out whether he's a traitor or a faithful. He's going to be the best traitor. He's going to be the best faithful. And that's kind of what I took from that.
Yeah, he definitely brings more strategic thinking, multi-level thinking, and knowledge of gameplay than a lot of the other players.
Well, and what's interesting in this kind of format is some of the other reality competition shows is they're all gamers, or they're all super competitive, that they just want to win all the things all the time, where this type of cast in any Traitor season is, yes, they want to succeed and win in maybe their field, quote unquote, so to say, but they're not gamers. Maybe they're ambitious, but they're not going to think the same. They're not going to think the same kind of way that Rob is going to be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And that just adds so many layers to this game.
Yeah, definitely. Love it. All right, well, let's get into, they arrive and start talking, and then I think really the only thing that was interesting about that, or that was maybe out of the ordinary, was Mara and Rob are. She hadn't expected to see him there, apparently, she said.
Right.
And she expected him to stick with her, she said.
And he was really sort of dismissive. And I know you're not going to make alliances fresh out of the car, but it's just this kind of human nature. Oh my gosh, I know you. And to say something to lighten the mood or be social, or, like she may have just been saying that to break the ice, or to find some type of self-comforting or something. She didn't have to be serious about it, but he was we'll see. Dude, come on. Just pretend a little.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We did worry about him coming off as a little standoffish and maybe arrogant and aloof. And it seems like he's definitely playing to form there.
Although some of his confessional...
Yes.
I'm wearing clothes.
I'm still wearing clothes, and I haven't kissed anyone yet.
That made me chuckle.
The yet made me worry.
Yeah.
I don't know who he's going to be.
When did Traitors become a matchmaking show?
Right. That would be interesting. Especially if you have to, if one of them is the traitor, right? Yeah, exactly. That doesn't bode well for trust.
No.
Okay. All right. So then, as you said, the selection of the traitors, the fireworks, the theatrics of it, just at one more level than last season, just bringing even more. It was pretty exciting to watch that all happen. And then we get a new twist.
Right. That's got to throw everybody off guard. Not expecting that.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched the episode yet, spoilers from here on out. But there is going to be a secret traitor who not only will the cast not know who they are, but we as an audience will not know who they are.
I don't like that.
Yes.
I don't like not knowing. It's very rude.
It's very, very rude. Why do you think, other than just to bring something new and different, do you think there's any other ulterior motives with this from production, or does it change the game in any way?
Oh, absolutely. And what we'll see later. But of course, you can't play the same game that you did season 1. Your audience is going to get really tired of that. So it's got to be bigger and better every single year, which we've seen in other shows that's not always a good thing. If, sometimes
kind of
keeping
go
it
off
real
the rails.
Right, yeah. Because it's now gotten to be so popular and people watch it and they know it and they get murder hungry and they go in headstrong and want to start playing, that I think they don't want the traitors to start going after each other so quick. Like, make it last a little longer. That could be a reason to finish.
Yeah, I think there's a little strategy from production in that, to make it so the traitors have to stick together a little bit longer.
It
at
makes
least.
it interesting for sure.
As well as just the whole craziness of it. And I think it has us talking about it and wondering and theorizing about who it might be and why. And we'll get into that. So let's talk about the ones that's really stood out for those that, looked in the box and their reactions. Okay.
First off, I think the secret traitor is going to be someone they spent camera time on because I just think that's what they're going to do. Instead of one of what they kind of blazed over.
Right.
A few of the people look like they were relieved. I think Ian looked relieved. Maybe Tara. I think she maybe looked relieved. I think they want to be faithfuls. Now, whether they're putting on that act, like, I'm glad I'm not a traitor, and they really are, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Strategically wise, they didn't. This is new, right? So they don't have a lot of time to prep for this. It's like immediately. I just got here. Now we're picking a traitor, and everybody is around.
Yeah.
And so those who maybe aren't as gamer, used to being a gamer, may not have had any thought about how they were going to play it at this point so early in front of everyone.
In front of everyone.
Yeah, with blindfolds on, totally different story. But now everybody is looking at me when I'm getting chosen. And so how do I act then? And
you don't know how a traitor would act or not act. So,
right.
Yeah, like exactly what you said. What do you do in that moment? And then everybody else is judging every tiny little nuance.
Right.
Oh, you were super smiley. Well, I think a traitor isn't going to put on that big of a display. They're going to be more subtle and subdued, and their reaction is going to be very nonchalant.
Unless it takes them completely by surprise, which you would hope they would have steeled themselves for.
Keep it under control.
But yeah. So yeah, I would think you would want to be very not let anything out, very poker face.
Yes. Yes. If you have that skill, if you have a lot of people, I think everybody did a really good job at kind of being stoic and except for maybe a few of them,
right?
But not giving too much away or showing what they wanted other people to see.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting was some of the comments from everybody standing in that group looking on.
Right.
Oh, so and so has one big brother. Oh, so and so, I want to stick by him.
Right.
They're already analyzing everything. And we don't even know who.
Right.
Exactly.
We did get, I think it was Eric who said that he seemed to be paying really close attention and analyzing really well. But he did say it was hard to see that far away where they were and in the dark, even with the lights. Right. So it would be difficult to pick out facial expressions and so forth.
Yeah, you can't see anybody's eyes dilate. You can't see, their pulsing.
We get it, right, with the camera right there, but they don't that far away. No. And I think also later, maybe it was Kristen who said that, I was looking for stuff, but I don't know what I'm looking for. Like, are they different? I don't know, right?
Right. Is that a tell or is that who they are? Or if it is a tell, what are they trying to say? This is why I can't play poker, because I know it's something, but I don't know what.
Right. Yes. All right. So let's talk about, Candace was first, and she looked disappointed, which we of course know she was not a secret traitor. Unless, crazy theory, what if she was? And she's one of the three, but also the secret traitor.
I can't, my brain can't think about that.
So there's not really four, there's just three.
That would be nutty.
That's crazy, yeah. So
she'd be playing it off really well.
Yeah, that would be hard to do. But yeah, so she looked disappointed. We know she wasn't shown. She's not the secret traitor because she gets later chosen as a traitor, and we'll get to that. But she didn't hide her expression very well for that. But she was also first.
Right.
Then came Donna.
Very stoic, very held it together.
Yeah. So impressed.
Like,
nothing there.
And people picked up on that too. People saw that.
They did. Yeah. And they also picked on the Swifties are going to kill you if you go after her. So, and then Jam Jam. He was third, at least according to what they showed us. We don't know what order they actually went in, but possibly that order. And he smiled.
Jam Jam's always playing though. So he knew exactly what he was doing. He put on a smile. Maybe if I keep this smile no matter what, then they can't read me. Rather than having subtle reactions.
Right.
I'm going to keep it this way and try and guess what I'm going through right now.
Yeah. So interesting that he had that. All right. The next one that interested me was Tiffany.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So she closed her eyes. And I don't know this again. This is why I can't play poker. She closed her eyes, which means something about something, but like I don't know. But I don't know if she was trying to be theatrical, if she was trying to be a certain way, and because everybody puts on that little bit of drama in this game because they want to feel mysterious. And so I don't know if she was hiding, if she was having a reaction to being a traitor or not. But it was something. And that's what I came up with all by myself.
And not only did she close her eyes, she also looked away.
Yes.
Slightly.
Yeah, she turned her head.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was to hesitate, give her a moment hesitation to come up with a reaction.
Yeah.
Sketch.
Interesting. Maybe. So she's obviously, we're thinking about the ones who are top of our list who might be secret traitors and looking at their reaction to see if we can see anything. She did say after that, or he asked her, and Alan asked her if what she was feeling like, and she said she's ready to play.
Yep.
So definitely not a lot of nothing else there for us.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
As also Rob R was then next, and he gave no reaction either, so I was impressed with that. Like he just kept cold, stone faced. We know that he also didn't see the card, and so he didn't give away one way or the other. You couldn't really tell when.
Right? Yeah, he's very good at.
So that was good of him, but I kind of expect him to not give much of a reaction anyway.
Which is actually
because he's really
good.
quiet, so it's really good. Yeah,
if he can stay consistent like that, then he'll give nobody, or he won't give anybody any ammunition to call him out on anything.
Yeah. So the next one isn't really on our list, but Ron was next.
Oh.
He had no reaction. Good job.
So silly.
But so fun. Loved him bringing the silliness and the funniness and the little comic relief for a tense moment with his.
I want him to stay. I just feel like he's not going to.
Yeah, could be a short stint for him. Hopefully not. We want him to stay. And then it goes, or our next one though, Natalie. She had a pretty big reaction. So relatively for her, like she didn't have, it wasn't stoic. It was, she blinked, her lips quirked a little bit, and she had a slight smile. Like it wasn't a quirk. It was a kind of quirk.
A wry smile?
Maybe a wry smile. I don't know.
That is
you can read it any way you want, I suppose. But it wasn't It wasn't a big smile. It was just a and then smile. Like, ooh, did I just do too much maybe? Or was it ooh, I better make it a normal smile, fix my face. Like maybe, that broke me.
Right.
And now I need to get back. So she's kind of near the top of my list because of this crazy reaction.
But you're also...
But she's had she was 12th out of the 23. So she had 11 other people to like figure out how she wanted to react.
How she wants to. And also when you're up there facing the group, you're hyper consciously aware that they're staring back at you.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to try to want to throw them off.
Right. Yeah, she could be playing that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want them to think that I'm disappointed, maybe. It could have been a disappointed look. It could also be a shocked, look.
Yeah,
so it was hard to read exactly.
That was a tricky one to read.
But, and I'm not sure if I don't remember hearing one way or the other if she wants to be a faithful or a traitor. I think she'll play well either way.
Absolutely.
Either way, but that was interesting to me. Also, kind of, we didn't mention it before, but I'm not really sure how this is working from a production standpoint. I assume Alan knows who is going to be, if not chose the person, even before, he's interviewed them or whatever. And is he picking boxes? Do the boxes have their names on it? Like, did he already have it prepared and they're just bringing it up? Like, is it any order that he figures out? Like, we don't know.
They didn't show anything.
They didn't really show the
boxes and like him grabbing the boxes from somebody and picking them up and knowing.
We just see him grabbing.
Or was it random?
Right.
Just whoever got the box got the box.
Right. But we don't, and then does he know? Like, does he look down and see if it's there? But
and then he's got to fix his face. He can't let it out either,
Right. It's a good thing he has his back.
Yeah.
But yes, that's also interesting, just from a production and how it works kind of perspective. It'll be interesting. I wonder if we'll get a more information about that eventually. And maybe there is. I haven't looked because I don't want any spoilers for this. All right. Michael is, not Michael. It went to, also interesting. Natalie was the second gamer, and the only other one was Jam Jam, who was third. So most of the gamers were in the last half of the order that we were shown. So that's interesting. It gave them more time to potentially
figure out how they're
going to react, right? So very interesting.
That is interesting. I wonder if that was random or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It definitely wasn't based on how they were standing because they were coming from different areas. But all right. So next was that we want to talk about is Monet. Also fun. Not probably on our list of secret traitor.
No.
But just the cold and a little tight comment, and
always has to make a comment. Always has to,
and bring up the challenge later from in the boat with his whole thing with Ravar, and
always good for a good confessional.
Or no, Colton. It was Colton who brought it out. Yeah. Plucking that right out with his 2 fingers. Hot. So good. Loved it. All right. Then it goes to the next one we wanted to talk about was Michael.
With that grin.
Huge grin. And a wink at Alan as he walked back.
I think that was showmanship.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be that
obtuse.
You're right. Think, I don't think to be clear, I don't think he's the secret traitor, but it was very interesting and marked by several people about how loud he was with just everything.
And they're picking up on, he must be a traitor. I'm like, traitors are going to be a lot more, good traitors are going to want to hang back in the shadows
Right.
and not draw attention to themselves.
Yeah. And in fact, somebody had mentioned that later in the episode
Mhm.
to Rob C. And Rob C. was like, that is next level thinking. And I don't think that's where he's at.
No.
So he definitely has some really good thoughts and ideas about who might be a traitor and what's going on. And he has some strategic thinking in ways. But I think his personality or whatever it is, his character that he's playing, I don't know him personally. I don't know how he is with his friends, but this is potentially going to be an issue for him, as we see throughout the episode.
Oh, 100%. He's not going to last long.
Yeah. All right. Next was Ian.
He looked disappointed.
He looked relieved, actually.
Oh, sorry.
More than disappointed.
He looked relieved.
And because we know he wants to be a faithful.
Yes.
Or we learn it later, but
Yes.
we at least we know he wants to be a faithful. And so his look of relief is potentially, I mean, he's smart enough to think many levels ahead,
right?
And devious enough to think many levels ahead. But it seemed genuine relief,
seemed
like
a genuine relief that
because I want to be a faithful and I want to do it this way. Yeah. And then Colton, who we know wants to be a traitor, or learn later that wants to be a traitor, and he seemed disappointed also. And he's not necessarily a gamer, so may not have, even though he was almost last, may not have had much of a prepared, how am I going to react if it's me?
Well, and you could go in with a game plan. I'm going to react this way.
Right. But then you see it.
You see it and it throws up,
Your adrenaline goes up and heart rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then finally, Rob C. Stone cold.
Yep.
Simple nod. Said he was ready to play hard. Don't know. I mean, he's definitely near the top of my list for potentially really, really amazing secret traitor who would make crazy choices and amazing choices.
I would hope so.
But I don't honestly think that he actually is, but we'll see.
He's going to be good at whatever he does.
Yeah.
I would love to see him as a traitor. But he would be faithful of the faithful, I think. Mm-hmm. He would be the traitor hunter.
Yes, definitely.
So after the choosing of the secret traitor, they all get together and talk and discuss, and
finally get to go into the castle. They're all excited to see all of the stuff.
And people are working. People are talking and already throwing out suspicions. And what I caught on, there was a few different things, but Jam Jam talking to Monet. Mm-hmm. Okay, did you see Jam Jam like full on deflecting?
Yes.
I thought that was so interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but
yeah,
he was really trying to put the attention away from himself.
Yes, and he seemed really awkward.
He was, yeah.
Maybe he's just awkward around Monet. I don't know. But yeah, very awkward looking. So obviously red flag as potentially the secret traitor. Or maybe just awkward in general. I don't know.
Maybe it was nothing and I'm grasping at anything I can get my hands on.
I do also want to point out, or that same scene, we see Donna and Tiffany talking in the background. Mm-hmm. And they are both, their legs are crossed, their arms are folded, and they're talking, they're in chairs talking, but definitely very closed body language. Like, I don't know you yet. Don't want to give anything away. Does that mean they're also trying to hide something? Because that could mean that.
That could mean that. Or everybody has their guard up. Everybody's not wanting to be completely open and vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they were cold and it was a comfortable way to sit. I don't know.
I mean, it is an old castle. Who knows? So.
But good catch. Good catch on that.
So interesting. We'll have to pay attention to their body language in the future. Also, we see Colton talking with the group.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, he looked like he was a little guilty, or looked like he was feeling guilty. Don't know what that's about. Maybe it's just how he always looks. But he definitely seemed to like look away, not look at people in the eyes. Like he was in a little
yeah,
shifty
I
there.
see that.
Yeah.
And maybe that was just a trust thing too.
Could be, yeah.
Or awkward around people.
Or-
We've got a lot of awkward.
Yeah, could be. And then finally, Monet, who not necessarily, again, not on my list of potential secret traitors, but already starting to look for alliances.
Mm-hmm.
I know people are talking about it, but like actively trying to work on alliances.
Now, do you think that works in this game this early on?
I'm not sure. I mean, I can imagine that they've talked with Bob about it quite a bit.
Sure.
And maybe they believe that that's the best way to go. At this point, there's only one person who's potentially a traitor. So making alliances seems a little premature, but also less potentially suspect, less sus.
Right.
For ulterior motives.
Didn't Jam Jam say something like that's how he won Survivor, was making alliances and switching them and looking out for number one? And I think he says that later. But someone's offering you an alliance. What are you going to do? Say no?
Yeah.
And then get killed?
You shouldn't.
No.
Always say yes.
Always say yes to an alliance.
Yes.
And have safety now. If you have to pivot later, pivot later. I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. So the next part that we wanted to move to was we get some interviews with Alan. We get to see some of those interviews that he's doing. The ones that stood out to us, we wanted to talk about first, Ian. As we mentioned before, the faithful, want to be a faithful. I thought it was interesting. He said the faithful side of the game is a juicy nut waiting to be cracked and solved.
He's really wanting to solidify he wants to be a faithful.
Yes, definitely. How do you think, or why do you think he is so interested in the faithful side?
Oh, good question.
Because obviously you have less information, which might be the nut part of it, the juicy nut part that he's talking about. But you have less information and you're trying to figure things out, but you also don't have to lie necessarily to people.
Well, and I think Ian's good at maneuvering and needing to switch when he needs to switch and zig when he needs to zig and zags when he needs to zag. Maybe he feels that he would be stronger at picking up on who the traitor might be rather than making bonds and having to kill. But maybe he's really good at that, because I have seen him do that with his Big Brother runs that he did. That's an interesting observation. I don't know. I think just people are more drawn to, I think more drawn to Traitor, but unless you think that you can read people and figure it out, and maybe there's safety in numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're a shield for everyone, you're a shield.
Yeah.
You're less likely to get taken. And then the last one was Donna. So I picked on her saying, I think I can be ruthless. Now, if we think that she is the secret traitor, may indicate a little bit of maybe hesitancy or self-doubt about this new thing, because at this point she would know what was happening. And so, but then she, follows it with, I'm going to step up and I'll do this and I'll be murdering if you ask me to murder.
So she wasn't really saying what she wanted to be.
Yeah, we don't hear that one way or the other.
Right. But that she'd be willing to do the traitor, the dirty job that a traitor needs to do.
But if she was already the traitor, she wouldn't be saying what she wanted to be because she already is. And so maybe that's why we don't get it.
That's true too.
So
Oh, I hope she is.
that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Then, all right, I think that was all from that section of the day. So then we get to the actual choosing of the rest of the traitors around the round table. We know that it's Candace, Lisa, and Rabar.
Called it. Who called it? I knew it was going to be Lisa.
Yes, you got one right. I got 0.
What? Say that again.
0 out of 5 that I had on my list. But yes, but I find it interesting. 2 housewives.
2 housewives. What and why and what?
I mean, maybe there's a little in Alan's head about them getting picked off so often and so early.
No.
Maybe they just seem less likely to be traitors, and he wants to give them a fighting chance.
And no gamers.
And no gamers, unless it's, of course, a secret traitor. But yeah, Rob's not a gamer.
Is it too obvious that it would be a gamer, and so that's why he didn't choose a gamer? Because I don't know who the secret traitor is. Right. I have my theories.
Okay. We'll get to that.
But it was I was floored at these nominations. And then Rob, I don't see him as okay, I should say he's not like the other traitors that we've seen.
Yes.
That I know of him, and I know 12 minutes of airtime for him. So
right. He has some good qualities. I think that could work well for him. He is, and always has been, someone who sits quietly in the back and kind of watches and takes in and pays attention to what's going on around him. So,
which is actually a really solid traitor
stuff, and which is maybe why he's chosen. I don't know that his interview with Alan was anything spectacular or amazing.
So yeah, I wonder why he was chosen.
So, but maybe that just fact that he's a charmer in a way. And he also can be pretty ruthless with the snake hunting and the stuff like that, and the quietness. So I wonder if all of that has something.
So he's a different kind of traitor than we've seen, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a bad traitor. I think he might be actually really good.
It potentially could work out for him, especially in contrast to the other 2 who are a little more extreme.
A little more loud.
A little more loud.
And out there.
But definitely he'll be kind of playing the middle or the low end of things, I think.
It'll be interesting to see who's running the turret.
Yes.
Who's going to be top dog traitor.
I mean, it seems it's Lisa.
Yes. Although Candace, she speaks up.
Doing all sorts of stuff out of the blue. As we will talk about let's just talk about it now.
Let's talk about it now.
Later she brings up, or before they get picked, she brings up Lisa's name, and in conversation she'd make a great traitor, like before she even knows who her fellow traitors are.
Right.
So she knows she's a traitor, but she doesn't know anybody else is, and she brings up Lisa. So a housewife already going against a housewife, but then also just being that bold to bring a name up.
Calling people out when you don't even know who your other traitors are.
Her reasoning was that she believes that's what faithful are going to do or are doing, and I think there is some truth to that.
Yeah.
But I think they are a little more, in general, faithful is a little bit more calm about it, or less open about it. Maybe throwing a few names, or this not being, but not
doubling down.
This person would make a great traitor. Like, no, don't do that. And then
she
of course
got the support from the other housewives, though. Lisa would run her grandmother down.
Right.
So it was a conversation to be had, maybe just not right now.
Right. Exactly. Before she knew. And in the tower later on, she owns up to the fact that she did it, which is good.
Do you think that she'll...
I think, because it probably would have come back to bite her if she hadn't. But
at least
she says she's going to fix it.
And whether that's lip service or not, we don't know if she's actually going to fix it or not, or just let people sit and stew on it a little bit as long as she needs to.
She just, right. So she may be using that to her advantage later. We'll see. I don't know. I think we don't see her do anything about it later in the episode or anything. So, and there's a couple car rides and stuff. So none of that comes up. So, And anything else about our group of traitors?
I want to see them work. I want to see how well they're going to work together, and how the secret traitor is going to come into play with everything, which we will get into. Yes,
we'll get into that more. I do want to bring up, not necessarily about the picking itself, but afterwards, Rob C., when everybody takes off their blindfolds.
Yes, we're still at the round table. He's really good at making sure that he wants to scope everybody out, and he knows that he wants people to see him looking around who might be the traitor, but without drawing attention to himself.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know how well he did. We don't get any pointers that it was odd or anything, but
that's got to be going through your head.
Yeah.
That's got to,
if it was me,
that added paranoia of, who is it? Do I see anything? Also, what am I doing? What am I doing with my face? What am I doing with my body? What am I doing with the energy I'm emitting? Does anybody suspect me? But wait, I'm not a traitor. So.
Right. So it doesn't matter. But I don't want to be thought of as one.
I don't want to be thought of as one. And people will choose anything. Oh, you breathe differently than you normally do. You've met me for 12 hours ago, or any slightness that they could find that they're going to latch onto because they don't have any information right now. You moved your chair. Well, I was uncomfortable. You must be a traitor.
Yeah. You latch on to anything you can, regardless of how actual reality it might be. And I think if it was me having Rob C. staring at me, I feel like he's looking in my soul, and I cannot hide anything. He knows everything when he looks into my eyes like that. Yeah. So crazy. All right. So then they go directly to Nightcap.
Oh, Lisa, she could not hide her nerves. She played it out pretty well, though.
She did, yes. So that was with Ian and Tiffany. So they at least saw that. And she did seem to play it off really well. And we didn't see anything later on. I think they mentioned it in the moment, but nobody replayed that or said anything about that later on in the episode.
They kind of forgot about it, or at least
we'll see if it comes up at Roundtable when that actually happened.
Sure.
Or when people might bring that up. But
that would be good evidence, at least good ammo.
Right.
To use against somebody.
Yes. Which is also interesting now that I say that, like, we did not get in this episode a murder or a roundtable.
No, I was disappointed.
Yeah.
But there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on, especially the starting at night. So you have, you have sleep in there happening. So
that's true.
But it was very interesting for a first episode. All right. So Lisa, and then we have Natalie, who comes in hot.
Yes. She was just like, look into my eyes. I am not a traitor. I am faithful.
Yeah. And I am going to play the aggressive faithful game.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that strategy? Because I think we can be pretty sure she is a faithful from that, not a secret traitor.
Yes.
Because that is several levels higher thinking if you are. But
if you are, I feel like I would initially think it would be over the top and too much, and somebody trying to put up a shield of I'm not a traitor. I would think it would be way too aggressive, but that's just maybe me and my personality.
Yeah.
Also knowing that, okay, traitors aren't necessarily going to behave that way. They're going to hopefully let other people be at the forefront and make the noise and let them take each other out. I personally thought it was, well, aggressive, which that was her goal. We'll see, it works for her.
It definitely makes you more out there for the traitors.
Yes.
As a potential threat or worry.
Right.
As opposed to playing like the middle game.
Right. And why would that? Why? I'm going to be an aggressive faithful. Okay, you're out.
Right. That would be one of my first choices.
And she's so strong, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So challenge-wise, maybe this isn't like Survivor where you can hope to win immunity kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there are shields to be won. There are, in the past at least, and there are, ways to protect yourself. So maybe she's hoping for some of that.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. I want her to stay in.
Right.
And see this aggressive play and what that looks like.
Faithful of the faithful.
Yeah. All right. Then we get Michael, who I think, he talks about that mathematically or statistically speaking, because there are 5 housewives and 5 players or gamers, that it's likely that one of each could be a traitor, which is a good thing, and actually how I was trying to choose my group. It didn't go well for me.
Right. But numbers wise,
it seems likely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and he would be right as far as the housewives go. In fact, there's 2 of them. But that comment then is used as fuel in later conversations, and we can get to that then or now.
Brought up by a housewife because he was the one calling out. If you're talking to a group of faithfuls who are wanting to catch traitors, it's sound logic, I think.
Yeah.
That's where I would have gone.
That's where I would have said too.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
But it's also something that can be used against you, and
especially since he's such a Housewives fan, and wanting to get in part of that, or we thought maybe he would want to be part of that alliance, but that doesn't necessarily endear you to them.
No, which they could have pulled him into their alliance with that. And so I think it was not very smart that he called it out like that so quickly.
Right. Or I don't know how big the group was. I can't remember, but yeah, definitely smart analysis, but maybe not the best timing. Yeah. And then we get Candace. We already talked about that and putting Lisa's name out. And then the night ends with Tiffany and Rob C having a very, very short conversation about starting a gamer alliance. Yes. And what's interesting to me about that is we see when they first get there in the car ride, or after the car ride as they're all mingling, that we see Rob say that he knows who Tiffany is and that she's a Big Brother legend and that he would love to work with her or have an alliance with her, right?
And so when the opportunity is presented to him,
you would think, he does say yes here, of course. Yes. Because he knows you always say yes. But it doesn't seem like he's enthusiastic about it. It doesn't seem like he wants to talk about it. He in the next day in the challenge, he wants to sit and talk about where we're going to put the coffin. And so it seems odd that he has switched.
There's a lot of back and forth. Now that I remember, was it in the kind of foyer area? The
foyer going up, like right before they're heading up the stairs. Like he walks up the stairs after that. So
we don't know what doors are open. And who can hear what. And so it could be maybe like a quick handoff. Want to be an alliance? cool, solid. And then nobody suspects anything. They didn't see you talking.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like just a quick handshake.
Could be. But it does raise some suspicions for me about him maybe.
Well, you just don't know where his thinking is at
right.
now.
We don't know where it is. And the quickness of it,
Mm-hmm.
the kind of just putting her off. But maybe they're on a deadline to get up the stairs, to get in their rooms. Maybe it's been edited in a way that it looks like that. I don't know.
We don't know. There's so much we don't know.
But we're just bringing this up so that we can, when we're right later, we won't bring it up if we're wrong, if it doesn't matter. But just wanted to catch that. All right. So that takes us to the tower and the experience of them meeting each other. We already talked a lot about that. Is there anything else you want to talk about the group in the tower?
No. It was just, the girls were excited to see each other.
Yeah, and Rob was definitely less
odd man out.
less enthused, or at least just less displaying emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And
they were also surprised that there were two housewives.
They were as well, yeah. So I think that they will work well together. They seem to work well together so far.
Right. I think
with everything.
I think they'll stick with each other for at least a little bit. They're going to want to stick their or keep their housewives alliance as strong as possible. So I don't think they're going to be turning on each other at least anytime too soon.
Think they'll turn on Rob?
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see what happens. All right. So then we also get an image of the secret traitor, red robe, walking through the hall or whatever, arm holding a lantern. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a woman.
Okay.
I think it's a woman traitor, especially later when we see her writing the names on the document, the scroll, the whatever. But the way that she is holding the lantern, I thought was more feminine. Small wrist. I don't know how a man would hold a lantern, or I can't remember at the time. I'll have to rewatch what
with
Rob
muscles.
With muscles, right? He's holding it way up here.
Right.
It just seemed very feminine to me.
Yeah.
But 3 female traitors.
Yeah, that does seem a little odd, but also unexpected.
Keeps us on our toes.
Right. Yeah. So
and I think it's Donna.
And you think it's Donna. All right.
We'll say that again later.
We'll say it later. All right. And then they learn when Alan comes in the turret that the secret traitor will make a short list of names to give to them to choose. This totally changes the game that the traitors can play.
Yeah, it takes away their power. And I think they said that they have less control over who they get to choose, which puts a barrier in their own personal game and who they want to make alliances with, who they think is strong, who they want to keep around. I think it's a severe disadvantage.
Yeah. Exactly. And they are not happy about it either. No. But it's interesting. And I think because the secret traitor doesn't know who they are either, it could make for some very wild episodes. Like we get with Rob's name later on.
He made the short
being
list.
on the short list, right? Which makes their job, so then they only have 3 to choose from instead of 4. So it narrows it down even more. I guess it makes it a little easier for us to figure out maybe who they're going to choose out of that list.
That's true.
And so we get that, because usually we're left wondering who they're going to pick. I mean, we still are, but they talk about several different names, but we don't necessarily know, were there other names they discussed? Are there other things they talked about that we just didn't know? We usually get it after the fact.
Sure.
But usually we just hear a few names and reasons as they're going through different people. And so,
but they have reasons for that. This is just somebody else picked them for us.
Right. And so they have to manufacture reasons or figure out how will it look for me, for us, and will we, how can we play this now? So they have a little bit of say with the challenge, which we'll get to, but it's not as cut and dried as they might have hoped.
Well, let's talk about the challenge. Are we to the challenge yet?
Yeah, that's where we're at. That's where they go next. The first mission, the coffins, they got to get the money into the graves, basically.
That's as many coffins in a short amount of time. So there's not a lot of quick thinking strategy, especially for the maybe non-strategists, the non-gamers, which of course that we heard Rob C say, but it's drop it in the closest one.
Yeah, that was a lot of them. So let's kind of go through what the reasoning was given for each of them and so forth. I did think, as we talk about strategy, Rob Ars says his strategy in general is to be valuable in the challenges, so that people won't wonder, well, why is he still here?
Smart.
Which is smart, yeah. So that is where he's going, and we'll see how well that works, because it doesn't always work. A lot of people get cut regardless of get banished, at least, and even murdered, regardless of how they perform in challenges. It doesn't seem to be as big a reason. So I wonder how much of Traitors he's actually watched.
Which is
it
weird.
Seems like it could be a good reason, but then you think about it.
But the Traitors want money in the pot too.
They
so they would want to keep them around for at least a little bit.
You would think so, but it doesn't ever really seem to play out that way. I mean, a little bit, but I don't know. I guess they just figure they'll make it up later, or
I guess so.
I don't want them around to figure me out. Or maybe it's less about how much money they can bring and more about other things.
Sure.
Maybe. All right. So the red boat, really strong. They come in first, and they realize that they have to drop this off, and so they say that their strategy will be to just drop it in whichever's closest, the closest one, which happened to be Ron.
Right.
And so that's what they do. We had talked about how Rob C was a little frustrated that they didn't want to sit around and talk about this. But
you're on a time crunch.
But yeah, I don't know that would have worked well unless it was a minute or less. But how much can you have a conversation, a discussion in a minute?
But especially with how many people, when everybody's going to have a different opinion, you're going to sit there, waste time.
Right. So maybe not the best timing or idea. Then the next one that gets a coffin is Rob R. And Colton is the one who says, let's put in the first one. So closest, right? So they use the similar strategy, at least for this first time. Then Red comes back again, and they put it in Eric in his grave. And they say it's because he's really nice and doesn't need protecting.
Oh, no one's going to banish him.
Nobody's going to banish him, or nobody's going to murder him, because this is about murder, right?
No one's going to murder him.
Right. They could banish him, but nobody's going to murder him. He's too nice, right? Which seemed like odd reasoning. I don't know who said it, but I think they all kind of agreed at least. And it didn't seem like the best strategy.
Forces the hand, forces their agenda.
Right.
To say we want this guy because
so it was an odd strategy, but okay. But they also didn't know that there's going to be a short list, and that they don't know any of that, so they just think it could be anyone. And then, but good strategy, Natalie. They go back down to the docks, and she says, "Let's make an alliance with these idiots or fools," or I can't remember what she said, but.
She was quick on her feet. That was good thinking. Let's team up. Let's go after the other one.
Yeah.
But what we see later is what Green Team had the same.
Yeah. So Green Team makes an alliance with Green Team has an alliance with Red and White.
Yeah, and let Red and White go after each other.
Exactly. So none of them get their graves or coffins in their graves. So yes, they were even smarter, like next level, like another level strategy. I mean, they all could have done it, I suppose, but then how do you make that work?
Right.
The next one that gets it is, the green that came in is Michael. They put it in Michael's. And we don't really hear why. We don't get that. So it seemed like it might have been kind of close. And that was their reasoning for the first one they did. So maybe it was about closeness.
And also, I mean, he's very abrasive and
could be
very loud, and
yeah. And it said
maybe it was more
the housewives
personal.
could be a traitor or the gamers. Like, it couldn't be any of those things. So the white boat comes in, they've made they come in, and then Michael gets really upset and takes this very personally that some people are targeting him.
Right.
Seemed a little over the top, but he's also kind of over the top sometimes. So that's him, it seems like. And it's actually Ron who suggested a housewife's grave.
And Candace knows that.
Although she wasn't in that group, she knows that he had targeted her. So Candace wasn't there when he said that, because Candace...
No, Candace said...
Oh, wait, no, she was there.
She's like, no housewives.
Never mind, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she says no housewives, but...
But later, she's like, hey, if there's already some fodder on Michael, I'm just going to blow that up a little more.
Right. Exactly. So they then almost put it in Rob C's grave. Like, it's almost going in, and then they kind of change their mind and they choose Donna, and that was Candace.
That was Candace. So that, I think, is what she said, is she may think that she's not going to do well in the competition. So, trample the weak and
maybe,
right. And,
or maybe she's
hurdle
worried
the dead
about,
and, cut them cut the weak. I don't think she's going to be weak.
No, maybe she's worried about her potential popularity, though, and her faithfulness, or her ability to make a lot of friends and alliances.
Her influence over other people.
Yeah, could be that. We don't know, but there's something there. Then we see Eric and Ron now finally see that they have coffins in there, and they get upset and also take it personally, but not in a personally, but that someone hates them way. Like, this is why they would do that, which I found interesting from a psychological perspective. Like, the only reason it's a logical fallacy, but the only reason they would choose me is because they don't like me. And
that has a lot to do with maybe insecurities. That has a lot to do with your initial reaction to, your body's going into that, fight or flight mode when you're already rushing. So it's already heightened. You're already working hard. So your body's already at an elevated stance or position. And so it's feeding that. It's feeding your fight or flight nervous system already. And that's going to be your reaction when you feel threatened. I don't blame them. I probably would feel threatened too, but especially when you don't have time to sit and think why. All you see is a coffin is in my grave. I feel threatened. Now I might be murdered. Yeah. Before you have a minute to take a deep breath and process it. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to green and white making the alliance. And then Rob C gets a coffin. So we don't really get much about why that was chosen. But that's who was. And then Ian, we also don't know. And then Mark, who we do know was kind of far away. But they had to go out of their way. They had to kind of go farther to do it. So it's because whoever it was took it where... And it could be that he was just not in the boat. Exactly. They had to choose, and they're not in a boat, and that's who they saw, and that's why they did it. Yeah. Wasn't part of his alliance group. Right. And the white almost didn't make it back in time, and so they don't get their 10th one. So all those people are up for murder, and the car ride back afterwards, That creates some drama. That's where Candace
some
started
drama starts.
feeding the fodder.
Let's talk about that drama.
So she clearly knows it wasn't Michael that said, let's target the housewives. Right. She does know that he mentioned it earlier, which was her being misleading to the other women in the car. So how real is that? Maybe it's authentic, but I mean, she's definitely playing the game. Yeah. She's definitely trying to plant seeds. I think she's playing too hard.
Yeah, she has a confessional where she says she did it to kind of create some noise around him.
Sprinkling doubt to a lot of different people, I'm going to hyper focus on one and try to draw attention to that person to get it. It just happens. I think maybe they would have liked to bring him into his alliance, but hey, if the opportunity is there, might as well go with it.
Could be.
But as we see later,
it doesn't work out for
her.
No. However, she does have a really quick comeback and does not like stutter or stammer, so it doesn't look as
can we talk about gaslighting
suspicious. Much? Of course, we're experts at having been gaslit. So
that, and then poor Portia now is discredited because Maura was like, I don't remember whether that's true or not, or she just doesn't want the spotlight on her. But now it's maybe she has to pick sides, but if she doesn't really know. And so now does it make Portia think that, she's starting drama and throwing names and throwing housewife, sisterhood underneath the bus when she was, she's just trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And Candace was quick to deflect, but it was super sus. Like she was quick, and we see Michael just took the attention on him.
Yeah.
And away from that situation.
Yeah. And we were talking earlier before we started recording, and I mentioned how it is interesting that his reaction, his attitude and just demeanor and loudness kind of distracted from the fact that they kind of just caught Candace in a lie, but because of him and how he was going about it, nobody was paying attention to that anymore. Like he
saved her.
He kind of saved her.
Unknowingly.
Granted. Yeah, right. Like unknowingly. And so interesting. Mm-hmm. She's kind of lucky. That one was almost got her.
I want to see if that comes back into play. I want to see if there's any comeback from that. If Portia is now super sketched out from Candace and that trust is gone, and if it divides the housewives at all, or if it just gets...
Portia does say that, well, she's my sister. And
okay, I'm sorry. Like, in the game of Traitors, you have no sisters. You have no sisterhood. You have no brotherhood.
You have no brothers, moms or dads or siblings.
You have to slice a bitch. Like, if you have to, then if they're coming after me, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, but we're sisters. It's okay if you murder me. It's okay. No, you're not going to do that. You have to be wary of everybody because that person could kill you.
Right.
I think it's good.
You want the alliances, but you don't.
Right. If you're
trust.
besties with a traitor, they will take you as far as because they know you're a vote to keep them.
Exactly.
They will murder you, though.
Or take you and to the very end.
And cut you there and totally blindside you.
You realize that you're blind. Yeah, that they were a traitor all along and you get nothing and they get everything. Yeah.
Yeah. There are no sisterhoods when it comes, because no matter what, they're going to stab you in the back, whether it's while you're sleeping or whether it's at the final banishment.
Right.
I'm just saying. Okay, off my soapbox for right now.
All right, sounds good. Well, we're almost done. So we get the shortlist from the secret traitor from the dungeon, goes up to the traitors, in the tower. And the shortlist is Rob R., Ian, Mark, and Eric.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was that? Eric? Did I not say
Hey, somebody else did
Eric
too.
was going to be the first one banished or murdered? I think I did.
You did.
I did.
And that is the next question. Who was chosen for murder out of those? I think it's going to be Eric.
I think it's going to be Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, I wanted
to me,
see...
he seemed kind of like a deer in the headlights.
Yeah. No one's going to get mad.
Yeah. Very safe. Doesn't blow back on any of them in any way. At least doesn't seem to.
I get attached to these people and then they die.
I know.
So sad.
Very sad. It is interesting though. So of course the traitors don't like this, that they have to choose. And they're also a little mad, or at least Rob R is mad about his name being on the list, but they don't know that you were a traitor. So, okay, if it just makes your job a little easier and you're safe.
They're all men.
Yes. So your theory about a woman could be interesting, could play that. Or maybe it's a guy who wants to get rid of other competition.
So I was thinking, and I know we're going to ask predictions later, but if it is Donna who raised football players, do you think that she would be more comfortable with big, strong men around her?
You would think so, or at least not intimidated by it. Or
right. And so he's a big, strong guy, but the other three are not.
Right.
And so I was thinking, at first, I'm like, oh, it's Donna because she's not targeting the big.
To be fair, Mark is strong, but little.
He is right. That's true.
He's not big strong. He's
not big strong. Football linebacker strong. But I was wondering that, but her throwing in Rob R kind of made me wonder if my theory held any water or not. Right. But it did cross my mind.
Yes. They are, of course, wondering why Michael's not on the list, which could the secret traitor be Michael and playing a crazy double, triple
Well, the smart traitors know that he's probably going to get banished. So why waste a murder if he's just going to get voted out?
Right. Yeah. Which is why I thought it was odd that they thought it was odd that his name wasn't on the list. Like, of course it's not going to be on the list. You may not want him in the game because you don't enjoy playing with him or whatever, but you let that happen through a banishment.
Exactly. So you can get two birds out with one stone instead of waste one. So
exactly. Yeah. And then Rob says he thinks the handwriting looks like Jam Jam's.
How does he know?
I don't know. He's a handwriting expert. He knows how snakes and he knows handwriting.
Right.
I don't know, but he does say. It is definitely not cursive, flowery, whatever writing that we see.
I mean, I would disguise mine.
I would disguise my handwriting too. Yeah.
I don't know how often they're writing notes to each other in that castle, but maybe you don't want it looking like a woman. Maybe you don't want it looking like a man. So maybe you're writing it with your left hand instead of your right. I don't know.
Right.
But I did think it was still a feminine handwriting. Well, how she was holding the pencil and through the gloved hand, I still thought it was feminine. If it's a man, I'm sorry.
I mean, Johnny, we got
right. Okay.
We got. I mean, even Eric.
Yeah.
Kind of although he wouldn't have put his name on it, so it can't be in it. Because the secret traitor is not going to put their name on, of course, on the short list because then they could get murdered.
Or not get murdered, and then everybody's going to wonder why there was no murder.
Right. Will that happen? I don't know. Anyway, I would assume that if a short list means that none of them, not Ian, Mark, nor Eric, are the secret traitor. I would just assume that. So I could know that at this point.
Yes.
It could be one of the ones who was up for murder.
Yes, you could put yourself.
The other five.
But you're not going to put yourself on the short list.
You're not going to put yourself. Okay. So brings us to who is the secret traitor?
Donna.
That was quick.
I think Tara might be a fun one, but then that would be still three women, which it's not unheard of, but I don't think they would do that right off the bat. I think if you're going to have all one sex, it's going to be through recruitment or just by happenstance to have that.
Because it is a very even group.
Yeah.
So my vote, guess, is Jam Jam. I believe Rob's handwriting expertise. prowess, handwriting analyst.
He would be a good one. I actually would
I
like
think
to
he would
see
be
Jam
really
Jam
good.
as
Yeah.
a traitor.
And I think the being one of the first to be shown as a reaction, one of the first players to be shown, one of his smiling one, so he may not have. It's still a good response. Doesn't
Right.
give a lot away, but it's also not the stoic thing that maybe he
Yes.
might have done if he had more time to think about it.
But even if you are smiling, you're still throwing people off.
Right.
People still aren't reading you very well, you know.
But then he's not when he's talking with Monet, and he's
Yeah.
very looking guilty and a little like deflecting and stuff like that. So that's kind of on my
I've been
radar.
trying to look at people's hands because I also thought I saw through the black gloved hand was a ring.
Oh.
I thought I saw the middle finger. But I didn't see anybody's hands. But you know what? I actually like Jam Jam for the traitor.
Yeah. I will also say this could just be a production. It could be an actor pretending to be the traitor.
No, I don't think so. That's another thing. I think it was the actual traitor because that's what they've always done before. Now, when Alan was like doing the dude did solemnly swear to blah, 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 he was clearly doing that to a camera and not to an actual person. But I do think walking around with the red cloak and stuff, I do think was the actual traitor. I could be wrong, but
I know.
am I?
Yeah, who knows?
Not.
Probably not. I've never been wrong before, so gonna be all right. So finally, we didn't get a banishment or murder. So we already said who we think is going to be murder. Banished. Who do you think is going to be banished?
Oh, Michael.
Yeah, you still think Michael?
Yeah, I was thinking Lisa or Michael, but I think Lisa's gonna kind of step back a little bit and not be so in your face. I think she's gonna play it a little smarter.
Okay, and I'm sticking with Michael or Ian. So assuming that he doesn't get murdered.
I mean, Michael's just stepping in it. He's just setting himself up for failure.
Yeah. My Ian one is more just because he's a threat and people might worry about that. But he doesn't seem to be as calculating or as faithful about it as, say, Rob C.
Sure. So, yep.
Yeah. All right.
Good discussion.
Yeah. Good job. Way to go.
Way to go. That was fun. I'm excited for what's to come for the.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be.
I think we're going to get. I mean, I didn't have it before. I didn't write it down. But do you think we're going to get just a banishment and a murder next episode, or do you think we're going to get like?
I think we'll get both.
I think we'll end with maybe them having another list to choose from, or do you think it's just going to be the banishment?
Oh, I would think that they would have a competition first, but usually they do a murder in the. I don't know what they're going to do. I think we'll definitely have. So we'll have the murder and the banishment. I don't know how they're going to play the short list now. Maybe they'll just come up with 4 random people instead of which ones have like quote unquote the shielded. Yeah,
depending on what is the competition. Right.
I wonder how that's going to change, if it's going to be the same. Well, not 4 people, maybe say 3 people, or if things are going to happen and it's going to be completely different people, and how that's going to be, the traitors are going to wonder what they're thinking, what the secret traitors thinking is going to be when it's just chaos and all over the place and there's no rhyme or reason.
Right. And how hard would it be to have it could be easy. You don't have to worry about convincing anybody else.
Right.
But you don't have all the information potentially that you need to make a choice of the 4 to choose.
And the wonder why, because like we said, it's not going to be my 4 people that I want to get rid of.
Exactly. Yeah. So whatever that person's agenda is, or their group, it's probably
they're doing the secret traitors bidding.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for this week. See us next time, where we're going to talk about episode 2. Go to the socials and let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think and your opinions and your thoughts and your predictions.
Awesome. Well, That's
checkmate.
checkmate.
Want to keep the conversation going? Join us on social media and tell us how you would play it.